making an appearance. We were favoring the Tracers, favoring the Winstons, and defensively taking a look at Zarya as well. So both teams enjoying moving around an awful lot, using their Genjis and their Tracers to the best of their ability. And that appears, well, that actually makes for really exciting matches because you have very, very quick sort of individual pickoffs, and it keeps the game very dynamic as well. So moving into another control map here, we'll see what these teams can do. Hopefully we get treated to another 3-2.
And it's dawning on me now, after that great first game, that this group was already one of the closest to call, I think, with Luminosity, Dignitas, and OW Kings.
Yes.
In the analyst portion, I actually didn't even mention NONAMEYET as having a chance of moving on to Atlanta, but actually, if they're doing this well against the top seed, they are really going to give a tough time to OW Kings and Dignitas as well. So really, really solid Group D here. You guys picked a good one to watch.
Indeed, we picked a... this is also the potential opportunity there for them to actually make a name for themselves, no pun intended, and they're doing a fantastic job so far. Ooh, Zartaz getting picked off immediately, though, does mean that it's very difficult without especially that Orb of Discord to assist the DPS players along, and that's going to give Luminosity a little bit of an advantage here. They do indeed manage to string together 3 in a row. Veteran getting the consolation there, but Luminosity having the momentum to start things off on Lijiang.
Neptuno so bold here with very low health, actually going back in there, yeah, getting killed immediately. I question that decision because he got out safely and could have just waited for his team. I don't know if he was trying to be sneaky, but they definitely saw him and punished it. Now it is going to take him a little bit to come back, but of course he's on Tracer. He can get back to the battle pretty quickly.
Now we move back on. Oh, and Veteran Jr. trying to run on in, and unfortunately getting taken out in mid-air by Maniton. That is definitely going to be hurting tomorrow. And an excellent pulse bomb as well. Neptuno managing to pick off Mineral, but actually also getting a lot of damage elsewhere. Getting Zabe as well, so that is both supports down. But again, where's the rest of the team? Neptuno standing here going, guys, I got the supports. We can move in now. Guys?
Yeah, that's me in ranked play. I'm like, all right, I killed 3 of them. Oh, you're all dead. All of you died? I killed 3 of them. Come on, guys. Neptuno, I'm sure, being a little bit easier on his teammates here, but yeah, killing both supports and getting nothing for it really, really feels bad, and the rest of the team really do need to step it up. This is not a 1v6 game. It is a 6v6. You need everybody on the same page, and we've got a lot of ultimates coming up here for NONAMEYET. They certainly have a chance of flipping it.
But for, oh no, 5 ultimates already for Luminosity. Icefell coming in with the Pulse Bomb to start things off and getting everybody low, but not necessarily getting the kill straight off. It doesn't matter, though, because the tanks are there to clean up, and now he comes on in over the top with a double to seal the deal. 5 ults from Luminosity at the start of that engagement, and I'd like to point out at the end of it, they have 4. So when both teams are able to get those ults up, who can use those ultimates more efficiently to basically think about the team fight that's 2 ahead? Luminosity right now are looking like that is firmly in mind.
The Graviton Surge here from Hadan could combo with the Dragon Blade or the Pulse Bomb. They're working that out right now, I'm sure. Graviton Surge actually may drop some people into the pit. He hit the money spot, I think, over the cliff. We'll have to see if anyone drops to their death, but Veteran Jr. with the Dragon Blade out now, unable to get anything for it somehow, and it's going to actually be Luminosity still getting all the kills despite all those ultimates used.
Oh, wow.
Really good play from Luminosity, somehow having the superior ult efficiency throughout that battle.
That was absolutely pivotal. NONAMEYET used every single ultimate available to them, and Luminosity still had a Pulse Bomb at the end of that engagement. We were talking about ultimate efficiency in those kind of showdown situations, and Luminosity absolutely boss moded that final fight.
Yeah, some great plays here throughout. We can take a look at these highlights now. Maniton, that was a big Graviton Surge to really seal the deal for Luminosity, but overall, things not looking as good for NONAMEYET on this Lijiang tower. This is another kind of difficult control point. It really doesn't mirror Nepal at all. Nepal, you think about it, kind of big squares, lots of room to run around for Tracers and Genjis. Yeah, a bit more open. Lijiang Tower, you actually have to kind of fight your way toward the point a bit more. The terrain that you have to pass through is treacherous as well. If you go that ledge side, there's always the risk of being knocked off to your death without even getting any damage in. So really tough to attack in for the Tracer specifically. I'm curious to see how Neptuno is going to fare here.
Yeah, when you're actually in a place where it's a little bit more difficult for Tracers and the star player on your team is playing the Tracer, it can be very difficult as well. So they're not having as easy a time here at all. Getting a couple of kills here and there, but Luminosity, again, able to take the point first. And we're going to have to see something switch up from NONAMEYET. It's just not working what they did on Nepal here. Neptuno hasn't been able to get the flanks in. Veteran Jr. hasn't been able to get those absolutely clutch Genjis in. We need to see him use his ultimate effectively and get those 2 or 3 KOs plays at minimum at the start of these team fights to put Luminosity away. We just haven't seen that yet.
NONAMEYET taking my advice, not getting the full wipes, at least staying alive a little bit to not just give Luminosity tons of ult charge. But again, that engagement was kind of bad. I'm going to just say it as two players basically went to ledge side and got surrounded very quickly while the rest went out into the courtyard and also got surrounded. So I'm not sure even how that happened, if Luminosity added 2 more players somehow in the course of this. But again, yeah, they got swarmed on both fronts and it just basically fell flat for NONAMEYET.
Zartaz also dying on the ledge to Genji a lot later than the rest of the team as well. That's going to buy Luminosity a little bit more time. They're going to be up to beyond 50% by the end of the next team fight. And if they're able to win that as well, then I fear NONAMEYET are going to have to do something with an ult disadvantage because there are 4 available on the side of Luminosity right now. So they need to build and be extremely productive with their kills right now. Veteran Jr. getting a kill, but Saini immediately responding. That's 2 and 2. It is right now all about Genji in this team fight. Veteran squeezing ahead 3-2 right now, but Icefell suddenly coming into his own.
If Veteran Jr. could have gotten that last slice on Tracer, things would look very, very good for NONAMEYET. As it is, it looks like they may be able to flip the point. No, they are actually just all respawning at this point. I want to be a little critical of Veteran Jr. there, who's so close to his Dragon Blade, and his eyes got really big and went straight for that Zenyatta while the rest of his team was actually getting assaulted. I think if they're going to stand a chance here, they can't separate like that like they did on Nepal. They really need to work together here. Luminosity, already in control of the point, are going to be able to just jump on them.
Yeah, the same play style in those large open spaces isn't going to work as well here on Lijiang. And we have these staggered ultimates from the supports. Actually, Mineral using his sound barrier much later than the support ultimates from NONAMEYET. That's going to earn them a couple of kills as well. We're up to 99%. We're not even talking staggering at this point. They simply cannot get there in time. And Luminosity take the second point to nil. This is a very different way we see this map play out to Nepal. And really nice to spot the strategic variety here in the control maps.
The first battle that determined everything here, basically Luminosity got very early kills. It was something like 3 kills to none, and when NONAMEYET backed off, every engagement just looked so, I don't know, disjointed, I guess. They had 2 guys go this way, 2 guys go that way. Genji and Tracer off doing their own thing. Can work on Nepal, as we've been saying, but Lijiang Tower, specifically that point on the market, is actually really tough for these flankers to get much done when the rest of the enemy team is all grouped like a death ball. They had Lucio and Zen with their Winston almost at all times, so very difficult for Tracer to get those advantages that he found earlier.
You just have a combination of really short distances to defend both flanks. Combined with the fact that if you flank on one side, you can get booped off the ledge if you're not being careful. So fraught with danger there. They're going to be on the control point though now, and this will of course play out very differently to what we saw last time around. Neptuno getting those early.
1 HP.
He needs the hunt. Oh, and very good rewind, but he needs to get Lucio, not quite able to get the second support.
At least he's back up to full health. That could have gone very badly for him with that 1 HP, the rewind and the health pack getting him back up to full, but the rest of the team dropping like flies again. If Neptuno is actually with the team, he's so consistent on the damage, he can actually peel for his healers. That's another thing on the market. Healers did not have line of sight. They can't heal you if you're not visible, right? So Neptuno, just run with the pack, man. You're doing a great job. I think if you can just get something working with the rest of your team, you won't find yourself the only one alive at the end.
Oh dear, and the Pulse Bomb unfortunately not getting much money at all for Neptuno. They're inside his own team's Winston bubble, I believe, at the end. And now Luminosity, they're sticking together on the point. The tank's doing a good job, and look, that's a lot of damage on Winston that has been negated after Primal Rage has come down, and that is everyone but Neptuno. This is something that we've said before in this matchup, but Neptuno can't do this all on his own. He needs the survivability. Maybe part of this, you're right, Joshy, is actually Neptuno staying a bit closer to his team and trying to prevent them from going down as easily.
That time he actually did. He's stuck with them a bit more and does have the survivability where he was still the last person standing for NONAMEYET. We've got several ultimates coming out now. Graviton Surge grabbing most of the team of NONAMEYET. That's all they really needed, but they did actually use the sound barrier as well. I'm not sure if it was 100% necessary, but that Dragon Blade was out, so it did actually prevent anyone from Luminosity falling besides Zave, who fell right at the beginning. So good ultimate combo. Only had to use a couple there to secure a full wipe. That means they still have 3 available for the next assault. Ruster actually going to be back to Primal Rage pretty soon. Ruster just doing a great job. He's building ults so quickly and surviving like a champ.
Manatin performing very well in that last engagement as well. Excellent Graviton, but also the damage output afterwards was just absolutely on point with the tracking there. Oh, and both sides with Transcendence. We have Saini going around the back looking for people that were out of range to begin with and now able to try and get those kills in, only really picking off Neptuno. But on this team, if you only pick off Neptuno, that's also not too bad based on what we've seen so far.
Sini just doing a great job on Genji. We saw he had over 80 eliminations on Nepal. Not going to get that many this time because it's going to be a 3-0 sweep, most likely. 100-0, 100-0, 100-0. No name yet. I think they poked the bear a little bit on Nepal, and Luminosity said, not today, but maybe a team name suggestion for No Name Yet? Scrappy? Underrated? Something like that?
I don't know.
Team name?
They've certainly shown us that they are capable of producing some pretty nice standout performances, but this definitely was a situation where they, oh my goodness, they've just made Luminosity mad, but they are fighting to the last, and Sani is going to seal the deal with 4 in a row GGs, and that was that. Luminosity will be able to win the map convincingly and take the series 2-0.
Interesting. It was very close to being a 3-game set. I'll say that, as it was really that 5th point on Nepal that Luminosity really started to wake up and say, who are we losing to? This is not OW Kings. This is not Dignitas. We really, really need to step it up. And they are now warmed up. Sini on that Genji just dazzling. After the first few rounds on Nepal, he totally picked it up. Once Sini woke up, all those